What's going on, peeps? Snappers. So I wanted to make a video of why people aren't spiritual and why most of them are full of shit. And it's a pretty easy recommendation or antidote of why people aren't spiritual and to think you might want to be spiritual, or these people are obligating you to something that's pretty unreal and acting like they have it, which most of them, if not all of them, are full of shit. And so I mean, obviously people are going to have different personalities and feel differently about things for the most part, but the number one reason is because people are disconnected from nature. We don't live in nature anymore. And people are like, oh, he's full of shit, you know, of course we're not living in nature, it's modern world, society, whatever, for the most part, for the most people. Yeah, that is true, but the style of eating and the way of living doesn't change. As what it was before, it's always going to be the same. It can't change. The world doesn't change. Nature can't change. It just doesn't. And what I mean by this is, since you live in a house and you're just basically, most part, everyone's disconnected from nature. If you lived in nature, you would hunt, and there would be the spiritual connection between nature and what it provides for you. When you go to the grocery store or even a farmer's market, it doesn't matter. You are not getting the food for yourself. You are not directly, even if you go to the store and picking the pineapple, that's great. You're not picking the pineapple off the tree. You have no clue where the pineapple came from and how it was raised. Not that you're gonna sit and watch a pineapple tree raise anyway, but what I'm saying is you don't know how it was treated. They could have poisoned that pineapple per se. All these spiritual people are full of shit. All of them. And if you were in nature, you wouldn't need a spiritual leader. You definitely wouldn't. There would be no point. There is no such thing. Only because people are disconnected from nature, there makes room for pretty much the superficial ideology, someone to rely on or reason for, because you're not connected to nature. And that's all it is. That's pretty much all I wanted to say, really. People always feel depressed and stuff and anxiety and all this stuff. You don't, if you live in nature, whether alone or with a tribe, you would never, ever feel this stuff. These people are full of shit all the time, thinking you need to rely on someone. This is why there is a spiritual leader or spiritual people, because and it was definitely never on a wide scale either. There's this because these people are living superficially, so they need something superficial to benefit them. But that's not going to change you. If you think relying on someone else is going to change you, especially their words and techniques, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's always your diet. It always is your diet. All these people are so full of shit, and then they're going to tell you how to eat and what to be like. It's pretty much a cult. And I could talk about this forever, but just know and take away, you are disconnected from nature. When you don't live naturally and how you naturally are, and I'm not saying that I am, I mean, obviously going through the screen, I would like to, you know, and I was put into the situation, and it sucks for all of us, and it's not fair, and it's not natural. It's not. It's definitely not. Concrete, to a point, it could have been beneficial, but everybody likes to be a nomad, likes to travel for the most part. Especially if you're in the wild, you would optimistically do that. You would travel. Agriculture and harvesting plants, planting your own. First of all, it takes way more time, takes way too much time. You're not going to get the resources you wanted, and you're not going to survive off of that. It's theoretical impossible. And anyway, it definitely depends on the climate, but even so, it doesn't even matter. You know, like the railroad that I'm walking at now, they put so many rocks on this railroad that they have all this wooden planks. They killed all the wildlife that was here and that inhabited the whole ecosystem. And then they got these rails, and then they got these big noises from the trains when they do come. And then, of course, all the other things, structures, you know, that are placed here and designed here. All this stuff, I mean, you can see this is not natural, especially all these rocks. And then, you know, you decrease the animals in the whole ecosystem, where we're supposed to live and where we're supposed to be. It's so ridiculous. And I don't even want to talk about the concrete that's everywhere. You don't understand. This is ruining life, and this has made life worse and disconnected us from nature, plants, animals, and just the whole, again, the whole environment, the whole thing. It's all pretty unnatural. And you can say, oh, but some of it, you know, it's made so it is natural. I mean, sure, but I bet you any money if you lived. The whole point of this video is there's no need in the natural world for spiritual people say that. You are spiritual already. You're just dumbed down, brainwashed by other people and programmed, and not living in a natural environment. That's why you lean back on these spiritual people or think you need to get spiritual, which I understand why some people might want to go that way. But at the end of the day, it's saddening, and these people are depressed and full of shit because of their diet and because they're not naturally inhabiting where they're supposed to be. You can overcome this, but it's not likely, and it's not, again, natural. It's just a superficial way. You can't overcome this and you know, realize this, but we're definitely not taught this. You have to go and search for your own and have your own problems and stuff like that, which that itself is just crazy. So thanks for tuning in. If you have any video requests, let me know. Let me know how you feel. Sub to the channel, give me a like. Check out some other videos.